After the first game of his career where he recorded 0 field goals in a game where he played 12 plus minutes and posted just 2 points in a 51-point loss in Memphis, Stephen Curry bounced back in a major way in Minnesota, flashing us back to what he did at the Paris Olympics, which was miraculously carry Team USA over the top with one dagger after the next when it mattered most in the gold medal game. Stephen turned up his game under pressure to provide another masterclass that ultimately ended up giving Golden State a massive 3-game losing streak snapping W on the road. People were calling Curry washed after what happened in Memphis, but really it was a testament to how good the Grizzlies were on the defensive end in that game. Stephen displayed in Minnesota that he's anything but washed up, as it was Curry's 38th game with 30 plus points after turning 35 years of age, the second most by a guard of all time, trailing just Michael Jordan, who now only has one more of those showings than Stephen. Putting the team on his back like he did in 2022, we saw just how much left Stephen has in the tank when he ate alive the Timberwolves defense in the dying minutes. Following the third biggest loss of the Stephen Curry era for Golden State and the biggest blowout by any team this season at the hands of the beastly Memphis Grizzlies, the face of the Golden State Warrior franchise heard whispers on Twitter about his status as a player who doesn't have much left. Realistically, every player has their off nights, but when you're as great as Stephen is, and you have a night when you fail to record a single field goal, let alone a rough shooting night in general, casual fans fail to understand why that's the case. Based off what he did for the country this past summer, I thought it was pretty surprising how many people were calling Stephen washed after his off night in Memphis. However, Curry didn't let it faze him and proceeded to let the haters know who they were talking about. After setting a pick for Wiggins, then receiving one from Looney, Stephen threads the needle through McDaniels and Gobert to set up Looney, who sweeps around Randall and fends off Gobert for a nifty finish. An on-ball screen from Gary Payton II sets up a catch and relocate with Looney, as Stephen whips to Kevon, relocates to receive the handoff, then steps back on Gobert and falls away for a triple with 3 defenders in the vicinity and it falls through. That was a damn difficult shot from the chef that he made look easy. Empty side pick and roll with Jackson Davis sees Curry bait the Timberwolves defense into thinking he's dropping it off the trace, making them unable to trace his swing to Dennis Schroeder, who pulls up over Conley for the mid-range J. This sideline out of bounds is executed to perfection as Curry sets a screen for Wiggins, then gets a flare from Jackson Davis, giving him a wide open 3 to beat the shot clock. Jackson Davis, who had a team's second most 15 on the night, slipping this on-ball screen, results in Curry being doubled, which Stephen quickly dribbles out of to his left hand and offhanded over the shoulder passes to Wiggins for the triple. Same on-ball screen into the catch and relocate play we saw in the first half, this time leads to Curry setting up Kuminga, who takes it downhill for the pull-up out of the right corner. After the Timberwolves had taken their first lead of the night midway through the third, it was Curry initiating a 2-man game with Looney, using a screen to his left and isolating Gobert to open up a pull-up from the nail. Following a bad miss from Kuminga, it's Looney grabbing the O board and pitching to Curry, who intelligently cut to the basket and finished with his left hand. Up 1 in the fourth with 6 minutes remaining, a Curry-Jackson Davis flat pick and roll gets Trace the bucket over Anthony Edwards. From finding one sophomore to finding another, after getting a handoff from TJD, it's Curry skip passing to Podziemski in the corner, who ends up floating it home near the baseline. But here's where Curry would truly start to go off, as he'd first use a TJD screen to get McDaniels trailing him and pull up for the easy deep ranger to make it 99-94 Warriors with just over 3.5 minutes left. Now up 7, here it's Curry getting the GP2 screen to his strong hand, negating him the switch on to Randall, and watch the range and accuracy to just casually drain this 26-footer from just inside the Target Center logo. Up 8 with 2:18, here it's Curry using multiple screens from TJD, finding Trace in the pocket, Jackson Davis swinging to Wiggins, Wiggins swinging to Schroeder, and Dennis up fake and then swinging to Curry with a perfect extra pass, finding Curry wide open, and it's absolute cash. That shot that put the Warriors up double figures essentially sealed it and had Curry going wild as he stuck it to the haters. In what was a bounce-back clinic for the chef where he sauced up the Timberwolves defense in the final stages, Curry posted a game-high 31 points, a game-high 10 assists, and he was a game-high by far plus 20. The two-time MVP also snatched a steal and 3 boards while shooting 10 for 21 from the field, 7 for 16 from distance, and 4 for 5 from the foul line. Curry scored 11 straight points for the Warriors in the fourth quarter and 13 points in the final 4 minutes. This man evidently has a lot left to give to the game of basketball, despite being on the verge of age 37. Here was Curry and Coach Steve Kerr post-game on the Warriors' victory.
I mean, it felt good. Obviously, we needed a win. We needed a feel-good type of experience after the Memphis game. You knew that Minnesota's they made a run coming out of halftime, but we were playing well enough. It seemed like everything they got was off of transition. So in the half court, if we could just settle the game, you know, in the half court we could get stops. And thankfully, I hit a bunch of shots. We got organized offensively, which was great. We've talked about that over the last 48 hours. Is just understanding what shots we're trying to create, what sets we're trying to get in, and the biggest play, honestly, I mean, obviously I made threes, but the biggest play was GP in the pocket and the lob to Wiggs. We were up 7. They had hit a couple shots. I missed that layup and we came back down, and that is an organized play that it's kind of like our bread and butter. And I told GP that was the biggest play of the game right there. And you see what the deal.
Yeah, it did. I mean, you know, we held them to 103 points and 42% shooting. Fought like crazy defensively. Took care of the ball. Got out and ran. You know, that felt like our team. And I think, you know, Dennis, you could see Dennis's impact tonight on the game, but also what he's going to mean to our team. His leadership, the way he was pulling guys aside during the timeout to talk to them, encouraging them, even admonishing them when they needed to be admonished. So we need Dennis's leadership, but his ball handling, the way he takes pressure off of Steph, I think that allowed Steph to stay fresh and close the game out the way he did. So felt like a really good night for our team. We needed the win, obviously, but I did feel like we got kind of back to who we are. And when you have Steph Curry on the team, you pass the ball, because pass it 2 or 3 times, the defense is scrambling, all hell breaks loose. So it's a choice. We can either do that and win games, or we can shoot, you know, a whole bunch of 15-foot contested shots in the middle of the shot clock and be a lousy NBA team. It's up to us, and we are hammering that point home with our team. Thank you.
This was your boy DFlow, and I'll see you next video.